gonna talk about cymbal swells. Very simple, let's get started. Actually, in the 2 minutes of the piece, the cymbal swell appears just here, and it does like this. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna position it. So, in context. So we've got the shh, and then we've got the ch with the piatti hits. It's two different instruments, but somehow it's kind of like the same nature. This metal percussion instrument. One of them is more like a swell, but the other one is a hit. But still sort of like similar. So I would want for these two instruments, the piatti hit is already mixed and positioned. I want it to sound in kind of like in the same position. So we're gonna have this guy here, percussion high here. Yes. All right. So the piatti hit sounds a little bit to the left. The cymbal swell, I want it to sound a little bit to the left, but also I want to fill the entire room. For the piatti hit, I want to pinpoint it a little bit more because it's compensating with some other percussive hits that we've got on the other side. Let's see. So I'm gonna position this a little bit, just a tad to the left, as you can see here, but still wide, because that's what I want. And it's okay, it's not gonna mask the high staccato strings, which is what I have in the extreme left and right, because just it happens in one moment, it's not there the entire time. There you go, that works. So we positioned it still wide, but a little bit to the left, and then when we've got the cymbal swell at the climatic moment, then we've got the piatti hit coming in the downbeat of the next bar. It feels that they are sitting in the same spot in the room. One more time. Perfect, in context. Perfect. Now, I feel it needs a little bit more of presence, the cymbal swell, when it comes to kind of like the analog saturation or tape or tubes. Usually I go with analog emulation, and then when it comes to reverb, I usually like a plates reverb. That's my go-to, and that's what I'm gonna do. For analog emulation, I like analog channel AC101. It's this little plugin here. It's like a solid state emulation. There are others, but I like this one. I usually go with this preset class AR2 with overdrive, and then you can tweak a few things, but this is what I usually use. Without, with. See how it enhances in a nice way the higher frequencies and the more metallic characteristics of this sound in an interesting way. Without, it sounds good. You can make it sound a little bit more alive. One more time without and then with. It's a little bit nicer, and it feels a little bit more like a cymbal swell. With no mics just standing there, what we would hear. Without it, it sounds a little bit more muffled. It's a good sample, I believe, but it's a little bit muffled compared to the other one. One more time, muffled. Nice. Now, next thing, I think it needs a little bit more of presence. We can do this with a little bit of automation here. Maybe something like, you can also do this. Now we can hear it, and then I brought it down a little bit for the piatti hit. I don't need that much of the tail. Without, it's there, but now it's a little bit more presence. Maybe you can go a little bit higher, maybe. Nice. It helps the transition. Now, you've got the piatti hit, you've got the swell, and then the piatti hit closes the But still, I would like to have a little bit of a longer tail. So we're gonna add a little bit of reverb to kind of like connect with the next section. We're gonna add this reverb here. It's gonna be the percussion blade reverb. I'm gonna activate this at -10. Now this is a longer reverb, see, type of sound. Now this is for metallic acoustic percussive instruments. It has a longer decay time, 3.2, 3.5 seconds. It's a long reverb. If it was for like an ostinato percussive rhythmic pattern, it wouldn't be that long. In this case, we're using it for this specific event. And so it's gonna be long, but it's okay. It's just gonna sound like this. So that, it's not the tail of the swell itself, it's the reverb. Maybe it's a little bit too much. And down a little bit more, and a little bit more. Yes, kind of thing, in context. You can hear how it blends, how that reverb tail blends with the rest of the reverb tails, and everything feels part of the same thing, even though I'm using different reverbs. And with the steel, you can recognize that specific reverb for that specific instrument, which in this case, I'm trying to separate percussion and orchestra. They've got two sets of reverbs, two different sets of reverbs. For the orchestra, I've got the B2 and the room reverb, but for metallic, I prefer the plate. I like it. So what I've done here, I cut 4 dBs starting at 80 Hertz. The preset was like this. It wasn't cutting any, but I wanted to bring down like 4 dBs starting at 80, just to, soften a little bit the low end of the reverb. And then here what I've done is bring up a little bit, just like 1 or 2 dBs here, very, very small. But I'm gonna bring this up a tad, starting at 18,000 cycles, just brighten a little bit of the top end of the reverb, and then that's it. I'm gonna make sure that it is as wide as possible, so I'm gonna bring this at 100%. Let me show you what this does. If I bring it down, narrow, that's a very narrow reverb. Narrow reverb, wide reverb. And that's what I want. I like the plate reverb for metallic percussive instruments, and I like to enhance a little bit of that brighter side of the sound. I'm gonna bring down a little bit of the low frequencies and bring up a little bit of the high frequencies, very subtle. And the final result is this. Maybe not as wide, because we position the instrument a little bit to the left. When the reverb is too wide, there's a little bit too much of a spill on the right side, and you can hear the like the tail kind of like changes the position a little bit. So I kept it at maybe 80, 90%. And then in context, one more time. I think at that section I need to readjust a little bit of the balance, especially with the high pitched elements and the low pitched elements. Yeah. Congrats! You watched the video till the end. Amazing! I put together my template. I downloaded the file and I uploaded it so you can download it for free. I'm talking about my orchestral template, meaning all the instruments loaded and how I've got it configured so I can put my hands on the keyboard and start composing. And not just that, but also my template is organized so it mixes the music automatically for you. So I added a link below, just click download, and also you'll be downloading lots of extra free stuff that I included in this kind of like bundle. The list of the libraries that I use, mixing and mastering course that's usually paid, and I included this for free just through this link. Also lots of analyze the scores, Jason Bourne, Captain America, and so much more, Harry Potter, transcribed, analyzed, reduced, and then videos of myself kind of like recreating that style. If you don't read music, you can replicate the style step by step just by watching me. Alright, cool, that's all. Click the link below, download all that free stuff. Thanks for your time, thanks for watching our videos. You're one of us. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, so YouTube reminds you whenever we publish these videos. We'll continue to do more and to bring value to the community. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.